And welcome, faithful followers. This is No Shots Fired Podcast, episode 50, Trapped Prison in the Scream Truth. Wait, I thought we said we'd already used that title before. We
I
haven't used that
can't
title
believe
before.
we didn't. It's meant to be.
Well, thank God we've saved it for such a monumentous occasion. This is our 50th anniversary. If each episode were a year, and each year were an arbitrary unit of measurement rather than a consistent way of marking the passage of time.
I say people thought
tonight...
the 50th anniversary of the moon landing was big. Just wait.
Yeah, this is much bigger than that. Personally, I wanted to go with what was my title? L. Golden John Bon Kennedy. Which
we were combining a lot of 50s there.
Indeed, we were.
It's like a little puzzle. It's a lot more fun. Anyway, our topics today are going to be Mario Maker 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, GTA 5 Roleplaying. Yes, that is Grand Theft Auto 5 Roleplaying. It's going to be a fun one to talk about. Going to get our classic Dungeons & Dragons update. Some speedrunning. Apparently we're going to be doing that, which sounds like a nightmare to me, personally. But Junkplay's been doing quite good at it. Then we're going to lay out episode by episode the next 50 episodes.
Just a brief outline.
Really, we want people to know where we're going. Kind of like the meta, develop the meta with us. And again, we're going to be devoting a special 6 hours to your questions this time. Just because this is episode 50. So anyway, without further ado, Mario Maker 2, I'm going to assume that's Doc.
Correct. I don't know if I had beaten story mode last time we talked, but I have now. And I've started to delve into the online portion of the game. Story mode, I continue to really enjoy the different levels that kind of ramp up and challenge and stuff. I had a great time with that. And just kind of dipping into kind of the user-created stuff. I'm always blown away by kind of the creativity people have and how they're able to create stuff. Ones I've been doing in particular lately are these 20-second levels that aren't necessarily super difficult, other than the fact that you cannot make a single mistake, basically. But it's designed such that you finish the level with 0 seconds on the timer. So you'll be just kind of running and jumping and throwing stuff up to hit switches, and it's very hectic. But it's not I wouldn't call it like a Kaizo level at all, because those are really these are fairly beatable, but they're just a fun to kind of see the design and see how they time stuff out so precisely that you finish right at the last possible moment.
So when will you be running us through all of those, beating each one in succession?
I should hook this up and stream some Mario Maker again. I do.
Yes, you should.
Some other ones people are kind of recreating different. There's one where a guy did the fire temple from Ocarina of Time, sort of thing.
That's pretty cool.
Which was cool. You had to break out Goombas basically to get keys and stuff, and just very cool. Yeah, just very cool things that people are doing. And then, so still enjoying Mario Maker 2 a lot. I have not delved at all into the creation aspect. I'd like to make a few levels, but it's one of those things where I think about it, then I see on Twitter or whatever, some of the best things people have done. What am I going to add to that? But I'll throw my junk out there in the internet and see what happens, I guess. But
I was going to say, you can't let that discourage you, because otherwise, I would never have gotten into painting minis at all if I let the things that other people can do with it discourage me.
Yes. Unfortunately, this also happens with me in guitar. I'll be like, I should pick up the guitar again. Then I'll watch something by Eric Clapton or Gary Moore and just go, never mind. So I have to get over that. That's true. So I should hook that up, and we should make a No Shots Fired level together. That's what we should do. See what diabolical things we can enact.
I think we should make a level for each of our episodes themed around the title of that episode.
Yes. I love it. All right, that's the next 50 episodes done. Check that off. But one thing I will say that I hope they fix, the online competitive / co-op mode is apparently just basically unplayable because of lag, which seems kind of silly for a 2D Mario stage to have this level of problems, but Nintendo and online aren't the best of chums, so...
It does, but I was having a similar issue trying to play the Mega Man X Legacy Collection on Steam, and it was so bad I had to get it refunded because the lag was just making the games unplayable.
Oh, that's right. I remember you said that. That's crazy. Because that's not even like a... You weren't playing with people. Like, you weren't doing... Shouldn't have been connecting to, like, a server or anything.
Yeah,
it's just like that.
It just did not want to work.
So hopefully they get that figured out, because it, like, theoretically being able to, like, try to run through a level with your friends, and, like, your physics, your, like, hitbox affects other players. Like, you can, like, you know, jump on people and, like, get ahead or hit them into a pit or something. So that seems like that would be fantastic fun if they actually get it, you know, into a workable state. But
so something Matamose would do is what you're saying.
Yes. I think we could get Matamose on board if this becomes a viable game type. So
Matamose is dead to us.
It'd be nice if he showed up once in a while.
He never will.
Never. But that's Mario Maker 2. Still going, still playing, still enjoying it. So I encourage, I guess, Junkblade to join me at some point. But I know you are busy in the world of, I'm going to take a stab at it, Evilise? Is that what this one's called? Eorzea? Gaia? Am I close?
I think Eorzea is the one.
All right. Nailed it.
So yes, I have been playing Final Fantasy XIV Online. A friend bought it for me along with the DLC.
Oh.
And the subscription price is apparently way more reasonable than other similar games.
Is that because it sucks, or why is it so much more reasonable than
Well,
other games?
they made it free up to a certain level right now, right? I don't know.
I'll have to actually look into it after the stream, because I was not planning on discussing the details of the subscription.
So I played this a number of years ago now, and did like a free trial. But I recall the monthly subscription being similar to World of Warcraft or whatever that was. I haven't heard of them lowering it to a great degree, but I do know this level trial thing seems like a smart idea to get people into the game and playing it. Because if you get them up to you can go to like level 35 on like 4 different characters or something, so you can do quite a bit of playing around.
Checking the subscription price real quick.
We're gonna find out if I was just making that up. You guys want to see my new amiibos while I was looking? I got
apparently the subscription is not more reasonable. My friend just communicated it to me incorrectly, but it is free up until level 35 on each character.
Nailed it. This is
what is it?
Isabelle from Animal Crossing. $15 a month?
$15 a month.
Okay. So an MMO.
Yeah. Still way more reasonable than, say, RuneScape, which, give it just in terms of price versus actual content you get out of what you pay. I am going through the campaign, and man, is it not fun. Like, the rest of the game is fun, but the actual main quest is so poorly paced and so much exposition dumping that I just cannot actually get into the story they're throwing at me.
These are some good amiibos. I am listening.
Okay, I'm done.
It's just Doc keeps putting up amiibo.
It's perfectly fine. There's just so much talking, and so little of it actually is something that seems to matter, or maybe it will matter later, but I just cannot bring myself to care right now.
Is this maybe the case of you're going through earlier game content right now? Kind of in your level up prior? Okay.
the A Realm Reborn part, which is apparently pretty universally considered bad, but once you get past that, or just do other things, it's way more fun.
Well, joining an MMO kind of midway has to be kind of tough, right? Because you have to play through so much. Like, that stuff might have been more interesting had the world been more designed around it at the time, which it probably was, right? So that's got to be I could see why that would be tough to get into.
And apparently, like, the initial version was even worse, which is why they had to basically remake the game and apologize publicly for it.
A very good documentary by NoClip on that, actually, on how they did
I will
that.
actually take a look at that sometime.
Highly recommend it. I'll send the link out.
I will say that, like, the job quests are much better paced, and, like, so far I care about the story going on there way more. I think because there's just substantially less just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's like a bit in the main quest where you have to keep going back to this place, but there's no teleportation crystal or chocobos to get there, so you have to just walk, and it's awful. Oh yeah, that's my main complaint about this game is all of the backtracking. There's so much backtracking in the main quest so far.
Well, you gotta arbitrarily extend the storyline if you can.
Exactly.
Make you appreciate those mounts you get at level 36.
Well, I'm 13 levels away from that.
Okay. I don't actually know when you get mounts, but that would make sense to me.
That would make sense. Right at the cutoff when you can no longer play for free.
They tease that chocobo out in front of your nose.
I think it would be a lot better if the main quest was paced sort of like the job quests, where they happen every 5 levels instead of just having a bunch of quests interspersed.
Mm-hmm.
Let me even check how many quests are in the main quest.
Okay, quick sidebar. What color chocobo would everyone have as their mount? Valen?
Like, just I have to go with one color?
Yes.
Then I wouldn't even choose, because I can't be constrained like that.
Huh, interesting. Okay. Alright. I think I would go with the black chocobo. I think they can go over mountains, which seems useful.
I forget what each one does.
Blue
I would just go with
can do water.
blue because it's my favorite color.
Gold, like you could say gold because they go wherever you want, but that's kind of boring. Red, I don't remember. I might be mixing my Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX thinking here. I think I enjoyed Chocobo Hot and Cold more than Chocobo Racing, though. Oh, that questline to get Knights of the Round was brutal.
We didn't even ever get it, I don't think.
In our playthrough, yeah, I don't think we ever did. I've gotten it before, like in.
I know you've got.
But you got to get this specific nut that you steal from an enemy, and then you got to mate them and reset if it doesn't work. And the races are so.
The races are bad.
Tedious. But you get Knights of the Round, which is a 4.5 minute summon.
I just like the dedication they put into Final Fantasy VII. I think it's fantastic.
That was a fun one.
So okay. I'm level 23, and I've been through about 50 quests so far, just counting them up. And it looks like I've got another 75 to go in the main quest.
Keep going, yeah.
Just as an estimate. So that's 125 quests over 50 levels. Which I think is part of the problem. There's just...
125 like required quests, or just like ones you've also done like side ones and...
No, like, I am looking on the site.
And what is a quest, exactly?
5 imp scalps from the preschool plains, or whatever.
It'll just be like a random task that you have to do, and I'm just counting up the ones that are actually involved in the main storyline, which is somewhere around 125 before you get done.
Okay.
And I think that's why it just feels not fun, is that they've crammed so much into it that it's just hard to keep track and hard to care. For me personally.
Well, again, would you describe like what is a quest?
Let's just grab a random one. It'll be anything from kill a couple of monsters and take their stuff to listen to these 3 people give speeches and choose which faction you would rather join.
So those strike me more as like the bounty kind of stuff as opposed to like missions, maybe.
Right. I was just trying to get a feel for, I guess, Final Fantasy XIV's lingo. What is a quest in this universe?
That's perfectly fair.
Do they have them in different like sub-menus kind of thing? Like there's a quest tab, I'm sure, but is there like, are those like your main story, like saying, oh, something story related will happen here is different than all these fetch quests?
The main story,
stuff.
there'll be like a tab up to the left corner showing which one is next in line for you to complete.
Gotcha. Come on.
Ignoring the issues with the main quest, I still have actually found the game rather fun to play. And there are even bits of the main quest that start getting fun, like when you get introduced to dungeons or boss raids. Like, the most recent thing we took down was the Primal Ifrit, who looks kind of like a Dark Souls boss. Give me a moment to pull up his picture.
Can you guys still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah, we're dropping some frames or something.
Say we are not great.
Yeah, our technical chief, our CTO, is all up in my ear about.
Let me lower our bit rate here. It's already pretty low. Okay. What class are you playing as?
I am playing as Gladiator because I want to go into Paladin and then Black Knight.
Could you have been a Dragoon?
I could have been a Dragoon, but my friend is a Dragoon, so since I was playing with them, I did not want to have my first character be a Dragoon.
But Dragoons can jump.
Yes, they can. And I can choose to be a Dragoon later.
But you can't jump now.
No, I cannot jump right now.
Oh, man. Disaster.
Can you be a mime?
No,
I'm just gonna
I
go
cannot.
through Final Fantasy Tactics classic.
Mime was a Final Fantasy
Samurai?
Tactics class?
It was. It's very
Time
difficult to get.
Mage.
Oracle. Samurai.
Samurai, I think, is a maybe. The Time Mage and Oracle are no, but you can be like Red Mage, Blue
Ninja.
Mage, Black Mage. You can be a ninja.
Illusionist.
Dancer.
Dancer, you can be.
Bishop.
Give me.
I'm just going through the Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced jobs now.
Mediator.
Templar.
Let's see.
Beast.
Conjurer, Thaumaturge, Arcanist,
Morpher.
Gladiator, Pugilist, Marauder, Lancer.
Oh,
Archer.
Marauder. You make sure you build a tech lab on your barracks to get that.
Yeah. And you'll want concussive shells, too. And Animus.
Rogue.
I will keep those things in mind.
What about Warlock, Warrior, Druid?
Mog Knight.
Warrior, Gunbreaker, Dark Knight, Paladin, White
Gunbreaker sounds
Mage,
cool.
Scholar, Astrologian. They sound cool, but then you realize that they've got gun blades and they stop being cool.
Oh, the Gunblade.
Monk, Ninja, and Samurai. Bard, Machinist, and Dancer. And Black Mage, Summoner, and Red Mage are the things that I haven't listed so far.
I haven't had any problems hearing you guys, but this... I don't know if it's a Twitch thing, or...
What's it doing?
We're just...
I was just trying to think of
we're at 14 KB per second right now, which is not great.
14? That is not great.
No.
Wow.
And we're at 11.8% drop frames.
It even seems like we're dropping way more than just 11% of our frames. Seems like we're only retaining 11% of our frames.
Think about it. All right, we're green right now. So is this something you think you'll play past the free bit, you think?
Probably, but it's going to be the thing where I pay for it on and off rather than one of the fanatics who I know who just pays for it and plays it every month, because I don't maintain interest in games that long. Like, the way it goes for me is usually I get a wild hair to do it for a while, and then I hit a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm done for a while.
Yeah.
But luckily, this is the sort of thing I can come back to. It's not like, oh, you don't pay this month, your character is deleted.
And if you've got a friend playing as well, that helps.
Yeah, the friend who bought it for me plays consistently, so that is going to really help maintain my interest.
Okay. Cool. Speaking of, I don't even know what's happening in this next topic. Grand Theft Auto the 5th role playing. Now, as I understand it, Grand Theft Auto is just it's just in our Earth realm. So you're role playing kind of a person. What?
Yeah, so there will be these servers dedicated to people just role playing real life jobs. So a lot of them will be like police officers or EMTs, and so they'll go around writing tickets and for like people for speeding and stuff like that. And within these role play universes, you know, as opposed to have most people play Grand Theft Auto where they just run around committing crimes all the time, it's supposed to be more realistic. So you have people trying to stay within the bounds of polite society. I mean, you'll still have criminals and stuff, but...
Okay, so I've played some of Grand Theft Auto 4, and I tried to, follow traffic laws and stuff during some of my driving experiences, and it felt like the game's controls said, nah, we're not going to let you do that. Is Grand Theft Auto 5 any better for that?
Yeah, so for instance, to get my driver's license, I had to take a driving test, and I failed it the first time because I wanted to see how robust the scripts they written to track your speed and whether or not you stopped at stoplights were, and they were robust enough to fail me the first time. So.
Oh, but you didn't get in the car with a RPing driving instructor?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
People will get serious to do stuff like that, so...
So, I've heard of RPing servers before in, World of Warcraft, where you're playing, an orc farmer in Orgrimmar or whatever. And I can kind of get that. This one, yeah.
Well, just imagine it's real life, but it's real life through the lens of Grand Theft Auto's 5 system.
Oh, and they're just laser precision wit. on the state of society.
Well, like for instance, Justin and I are two. We've kind of decided we're like trailer trash, inept criminals. Is basically what we are.
Okay.
So we like robbed a gas station the other day, and then had to go get the money laundered. And
Was
then
the
we
gas station attendant a real person?
Not in this case, but sometimes there will be.
Okay. In your travels so far, what is the most ridiculous, I guess is the word I'll use, job you've seen an actual person role playing?
I mean, we encountered this fisherman who was really into being a fisherman, which was kind of funny. A guy got really into being an EMT. I'm trying to think of like the most obscure random job. There's a lot of like bikers, a lot of cab drivers or Uber drivers.
So I know people in like the online thing have gotten into the heists and that kind of stuff, but that's nothing like that is taking place in this server.
Who got into what?
Like there's like online heists and like missions and that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, there can definitely be stuff like that. I don't know how robust or in depth the heist gets there, but there are stuff like there is a black market hidden somewhere in the world, but like we don't know where it is.
Okay.
And there are like places where you can get like illicit drugs, heavier drugs than like weed, and go sell those. Like for instance, we went to a weed farm and picked a bunch of marijuana and tried to sell it to people, but which we could not succeed in doing. Then we just ditched it all because some cop was sniffing around near us.
Oh, it's legal now.
I don't think it is on this. Right, I know it's not, but not on this.
Not in this analog for Los Angeles, huh? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Okay.
But the stuff I want to do with Justin is like we're gonna have like hold a poetry reading and stuff. And the way people like talk to each other in universe is you have a phone, and like you have in universe Twitter, and so people like post about their dumb things they're doing, or like they'll say like we're gonna go have a car show is one that we've done, and everyone pulls up and parks their cars and talks about their cars, which is kind of weird and funny.
Could you have spawned a helicopter and like just wasted all those cars, or is that not?
You'll get banned from this. You can go buy a helicopter. You can get like your pilot's license and stuff. If you are like want to be a mass murderer, I think you will get. You can do it, but what's gonna happen is like you will get like killed, and then like once your character's killed, the character's gone, and then they probably will not. If you keep doing it, they probably won't let you be on the server anymore.
Who watches The Watchmen, though? Am I right?
Anyway, let's not talk about this anymore. Speedrunning.
No, wait. I need to see a stream of this. So either you or J Money.
Well, we were talking about we wanted.
Oh,
you cut out, Val.
Oh, he doesn't have a good streaming setup. We did want to stream it though, because we think we get into kind of some funny, weird situations. So
what would he need to have a good streaming setup?
I don't know. Maybe he just needs us to walk him through it.
I think that's it. Okay. Well, that sounds interesting, I think. And I hope the poetry reading
glad
goes
that. Well, I want you to be there for that.
I want to be there for that. Junkblade, quick. What job would you choose in this Grand Theft Auto 5 RP server?
I would definitely choose painter.
Okay. I would choose...
Yes.
I would choose Morpheus.
Okay, how do you...
try to convince everyone that what they were doing was just playing along in a virtual space.
But actually, I've seen some funny stuff. Justin showed me a clip of this guy who does this online, has a bunch of people who follow him. And he went around... There's an in-game Grand Theft Auto. There's an in-game cult, and they went around as followers of this cult. And so they they would just go up and try to talk to people about, whoever, Morpheus, about the truth in the world, and they would just bother people relentlessly as if they were like Mormons or something. It was fantastic.
Okay, so you're telling me people have already thought of my idea here.
No, yours is better.
Okay.
Yours is better.
Okay.
Yours is definitely better, Doc.
I'd have to get those sunglasses, though. That would be tough. Okay. I'll think about it, but that would be my idea.
You could definitely make somebody look like Morpheus. There's a lot of... They've also added in a ton of like clothing options and stuff. I'm sure there's a black leather trench coat and black glasses.
Excellent. Excellent. There's a difference between knowing the path.
So you're saying you're going to join us, huh?
Oh, I'm talking myself into it.
I mean, it's pretty funny because it's
but
just
only if all three of us were Morpheus, and we just like spaced out, coming up to people like every 2 minutes, and just said the same thing.
I really like.
And then just got really awkward when we noticed each other. And said, no, I said I was going to.
It's like, damn it, Gary, I have this block.
Yes.
You got Southport through Central.
We've talked about that. Okay. So look for that on episode 64. Who am I kidding? Episode 64 will be all about the Nintendo 64.
That's actually a good theme for that.
I think so.
Oh, wait, we've. Why did nobody point out our visitor in chat?
Oh man. NSFJ
Right.
Money.
Have you heard the teachings of Craft? Craft is the in-universe. It's kind of like their Scientology.
And it's spelled like Kraft mac and cheese?
I would need J Money to confirm or deny how it's spelled. I like episode 50 being all about 51st Day.
No. Haven't seen the film. J Money, how is this coming through on the internet here? Because on my metrics, it's bad.
Yeah, anytime I actually look at how it's coming through, it's not.
My stream health looks fine on the Twitch dashboard. Okay. Speaking of Twitch, speedrunning. People do it on Twitch a lot.
So this
wait,
just...
wait. Do I want to do the? That's all right. I skipped the D&D update.
Yes, you did.
Never mind. Speaking of Twitch, Dungeons and Dragons. People play that on Twitch.
We're the one player who's slightly unreliable is going to try and run another campaign, and we're all for it. It's the Eberron campaign setting. If either of you have heard of that,
Eberron?
Yes,
I have not.
It's a pretty well-loved campaign setting. The idea is that you've got like 15th century ideals like chivalry mixed with 19th and 20th century technology because of arcanotech. So you've got like magic trains and things running around this setting.
Okay, so magic trains but no groping.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this setting has standards.
Wow. Very unbelievable. I don't think you can... In the real world, you can't separate those
truly
two
is
things.
It truly is a fantasy universe.
I recommend looking up some details about the setting if either of you are curious and have the time.
Okay.
Because it is just kind of a neat idea for a setting. It came to be because a bunch of Wizards of the Coast ran like a submit your campaign setting to us thing, and the person who won is the one who came up with Eberron. His name's Richard Baker, and I think he's been part of the gaming community for a very long time and still is.
Oh, right.
But anyway, in terms of this setting, or this game, we haven't played a session yet. The plan is to do it this Saturday. And what we've got so far is a very often drunk priest, a Warforged, which is their golem people race luchador.
Okay.
And I'm playing the result of a magical experiment, which is how I'm explaining what my character is in the setting, because of reason another time, because it would take too long to explain for tonight. So that's the update for the next campaign.
Okay.
This past Saturday, we continued more of the Endless Dungeon campaign, which involves me playing a wizard, friend playing a goth bard, the slightly unreliable guy playing what is called a magus, which is like a mixture of a fighter and a wizard. And
What's a goth bard?
like dressed in all black, constantly depressed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was like a class. Okay.
There's a prestige
Funny.
class called Dirge Singer that they are going to be taking. And then
Sounds
So
like
just
a
life
fun guy to be
life
around.
of-
Okay.
and then the last guy who has not been able to make it very consistently because he gets done with work too late and we end too early for him to be able to justify making it out consistently. He's playing a halfling rogue / shadow dancer, which is a prestige class that makes it a lot easier for you to sneak around.
But do you have to dance while you do it?
You don't have to, but he
Okay.
almost certainly does, because the player likes playing slightly ridiculous characters.
Is this one you've told us about before? Does this sound familiar?
It
to
is.
anyone?
It's just that we have so many campaigns going on that I don't blame you guys for not being able to keep
It
track.
could be that the Star Wars one took up all of my mind space, I think, last time.
That is entirely possible. So anyway, we have all meeting our rivals in this place, because the Dungeon Master decided that he wanted to give us all rivals, which I'm perfectly okay with. I like the idea. So for
Please
the
tell
bard,
me this is going to result in a steel cage match.
it eventually probably,
Okay, good.
especially with the fighter wizard's rival, the Butcher, who has a love of putting things in cages and then butchering them.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, that is his rival, who exists because very early on in the dungeon, instead of trying to, get out of a fight peaceably, he killed this guy whose title was the Butcher. He killed his dog. And then we had to kill the Butcher.
Why kill the man's dog?
It was slightly hostile. Calm it down in any way. It turned into a fight scenario. And so,
We've all seen John Wick, right?
yes, whatever malevolent entity is in this endless dungeon maze thing turned the Butcher and his dog into this horrible undead thing that we're going to have to kill again at some point.
Ah. Well, that's an extra work. That's a bummer.
Yes, indeed. the Bard's rival, we've met, but we haven't actually had any sort of talking scenario with them. And the only thing, we saw them from a distance when they, for some reason, saved my character from their rival. And all we know about them is that their title is The Dance Macabre. Like the... yes, like the song.
Wait, which song?
Which you guys will probably both recognize if you hear it.
Is it the Macarena?
No.
Okay.
The Dance Macabre.
Thing I learned today, real quick.
I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Quick aside about the Macarena. Did you guys know it's about a girl cheating on her boyfriend with 2 other guys?
I did not.
Is that, and that's embedded in the lyric?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Fairly explicit. It's not really like cryptic. I mean, I just never hey, that's all that's all.
I've
really...
never actually looked at the lyrics.
So yeah, give it a gander, and you're like, oh.
I'm gonna look at it.
Okay.
Sort of like the Pina Colada song.
Maybe.
Anyway, my character's rival is a much more powerful wizard called the King of Pain. Also named after a song.
Just
King of
the
Pain,
Butcher and the King of Pain this Friday.
Who knows? Maybe that's how we'll get rid of both of them.
At the Granite City Civic Center.
My character doesn't actually remember doing the action that led to him getting pissed off and searching my character out to kill them. And that's part of what this section is going to be about going through, because we're essentially stuck in Silent Hill right now.
Okay.
I would not want to be stuck in Silent Hill.
No.
Last but not least is... I can't remember the title of the rival for the halfling. I remember the details of
El Conquistador.
Which are that
El Diablo.
El Diablo.
He killed the halfling's entire village. And is a type of fae called a redcap. Which are described as short, thick-set old men with long, prominent teeth, skinny, formed with talons like large eyes of a fiery red color, grizzly hair streaming down their shoulders, iron boots, and a pike staff. So that's the kind of scary thing about these guys, is that they are one of the few fae that are not in any way affected by iron.
Why would you wear iron boots?
To literally curb stomp people with.
So you can walk away.
Well, yeah, but like you'd have to catch up to them first,
Zelda.
and that's exhausting. Link can barely move in those things. Wait, sorry, am I mixing up? Is the luchador in the
tale? He dropped them on people's heads.
Okay, is the luchador character in the previous campaign?
No, he's the one running this campaign.
But is the luchador character in this campaign?
No.
Oh, okay, darn it. Okay. You were talking about
not yet.
Yeah, you were talking about rivals, and I was really looking forward to an evil luchador trying to unmask your guys' luchador and just create
that would be really funny.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I would be all for that.
Best 2 out of 3 falls match. You got a last man standing, a 60-man Iron Man match. We could go a year easy with this feud. So go all the way to Mania.
That is the D&D update. So onto the little speedrunning thing. Because I don't know how long we've been doing this.
46 minutes. We got time.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, I guess in that case, I can continue with the D&D stuff for a bit. Did you guys have any questions?
I'm kind of just fantasy booking this luchador feud right now.
Right, I like that.
I do too. I'm actually going to mention that to the DM this Saturday, because I think he'll really enjoy the imagery.
What is your luchador character's finishing move?
What now?
What's their finishing move? Their finisher.
I feel like the backbreaker.
Okay.
If I just had to take a guess.
Okay. Quick poll. What's the greatest finishing move in your guys' opinion?
I'm not familiar with all the finishing moves.
Whichever one in Mortal Kombat involves the one guy just reaching into somebody else.
Junkblade, I'm talking about real wrestling here. Not this
Undertaker?
Tombstone Piledriver, huh? Or or
Yeah.
are you talking about his American Badass phase when it's the last ride?
What about Sergeant Slaughter?
I don't remember Sergeant Slaughter's. Well, what was his? Something with a nightstick.
Isn't Sergeant
that was Big Boss
Slaughter a
Man.
G.I. Joe character?
Probably,
Sure it is. He sure is.
but he was also a wrestler who became turned heel by becoming an Iraqi sympathizer during the first Gulf War.
He did that part of canon?
Oh yeah, people didn't care for it.
For the record, he is exactly duplicated in the G.I. Joe movie.
Yes,
He trains the new recruit.
but
the diving elbow drop.
that's okay. Randy Savage, that's a good one. It's the Stone Cold Stunner is the correct answer, though. I'm sorry, everybody. That's the
That
answer
was going to
I
be my
looking
second
for.
choice.
Look up. There's a great YouTube video of every Stone Cold Stunner Steve Austin ever did, just all spliced together. It's wonderful. And you can really see which guys knew how to take it and which people did not. Okay, sorry. Aside over.
No, that's perfectly fine. The Stone Cold Stunner is not a bad finishing move.
Oh, real, it's so good.
Yeah, you're not kidding about how some people don't know how to take it. Okay, so speedrunning. So I think I decided to do this because partially I've looked at a few and I just find the concept really cool. Just how quickly can you get a game done if you're really trying? I think the types of speedruns I like the best are the ones where they don't exploit like glitches to get through a place stupidly quickly. Like
I agree with that.
I don't enjoy so much the Ocarina of Time runs that are only like 18 minutes long or whatever the crazy amount is because they just clip through doors and things like that.
Yeah, I watching that, it doesn't hold my interest. I am always impressed with how people figured it out. So like, I do like watching people will make videos of like the progression of that run. Like it started at like an hour and a half, and then like what stuff was discovered, and like explaining how it works. But yeah, I don't. I'll be more likely to watch 100% Ocarina of Time run than I will an 80% run these days.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the 100% to any percent runs. I need to remember to find the channel I watched about like the history of some speed runs and how it'll go over like, okay, this is where it started. This is the thing they found out that got them to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then so on and so forth until the current day record.
Ones I can Summoning Salt, I think, has a good number of those. Easy Escape, maybe another one.
I think Summoning Salt. That sounds correct.
They do some really good ones, videos on that stuff.
And then, of course, I initially planned on trying for a Pokemon speedrun at some point that I think I have abandoned in favor of this current one, because this current one I will take much less effort, time, and training. The current one is going to be Mega Man X3, because it was my favorite of the Mega Man X games to play as a kid. Even though nowadays I would say from a design standpoint, X2 is definitely better.
Mm-hmm.
But I just screwing around and having fun with it, I got it done in an hour and 40 minutes. And that's close enough that I know I can cut the time down and probably make it onto the current top speedrun lists. I would only be in like the 70s, but that's still...
Really?
You know, yeah.
Huh.
Give me a moment to check the current rankings.
Okay, and it's, I think the key for at least us, and you actually doing this and me wishing to do it, is choosing a game like X3 where the run is, hour, 2 hours. Like that's a much more doable time frame
Right.
than some of the Pokemon ones I've seen, some of the other speedruns that like 3.5, 5 out, 4 or 5 hour, type run.
Yeah. So like the bottom 5 right now are an hour and 14 minutes and 52 seconds, an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 17 minutes, an hour and 32 minutes, and 3 hours and 18 minutes. So I already beat that last one, but I'm not even counting that because I know enough about the game. I can definitely break that hour and a half mark.
Okay.
I'm confident of that, at least.
Is there a time if you got to it, you'd be satisfied and kind of stop, do you think? Or just kind of...
I think if I could displace 70 at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds, I would be satisfied and be like, I'm done.
Okay. That's
as good as it needs to get.
Cool. Okay. I definitely want to watch your journey in some of this. I say, having watched speedrunning for a good number of years now, it's always something I've kind of tried to think of what game I would try to do.
And what game is that?
I still would really like to do Link to the Past Randomizer. I know that's not like a strict speedrun, but it kind of was born out of the speedrunning community and stuff. And just that playing through some of those scenes was just a blast. So I'd like to try to do that more often. And maybe that would transition into trying to do like the No Major Glitches speedrun of that game, which would be fun. And that's like an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. If I go for world record, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I think Link to the Past would be a little better just because that game isn't quite as, I don't know, twitchy or, not that it's not difficult to do, but, reflex, the platforming aspect of like a Mega Man or a Mario kind of
perfectly fair.
Makes me nervous about trying it and not just pulling my hair out.
The current top placing for X3 on the speedrun site is 44 minutes and 34 seconds, which I just can't even imagine.
Who is it?
Nero X2.
Okay. That's pretty quick. Valen, what about you?
I would speedrun Codename Viper for the NA.
I have not heard of that.
Look up the cover art immediately.
Codename Viper.
Speaking of cover art, the cover art for Rockman X3, the Japanese version of Mega Man X3, is very cool.
My goodness.
Codename Viper also has very good cover art.
But the Mega Man Rockman covers are definitely much better in Japan. For sure.
To be fair, I do like the American version. It's just, I think, with the Japanese version, having Dr. Doppler staring above you evilly is a really good image.
Yeah. I agree. And that's why I own only the Japanese version of Mega Man X3. Not because it's
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what
10%
Mega
the
Man
price.
X3 costs.
How are we doing on time?
We are at 57 minutes. Just enough time to lay out the next 50
episodes.
But no, I think the speedrunning journey is very cool, and I'm excited to see your progress. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I might do like a test run tomorrow or Friday. Friday probably seems more
excellent.
likely before planning on doing a proper run on Sunday.
Well, keep us posted, and I will tune in whenever I have the chance.
I absolutely will.
All right. Is there any topics people are wanting to add to the queue for these next 50 episodes?
I do like the idea of doing all 60 Nintendo 64 related stuff for the 64th episode.
I was going to say, just popped into my head, I think we revisit our list we made for the Nintendo 64 Classic in that whatever episode that was so long ago when we thought for sure it was coming out and it still hasn't, and I'm really bummed about it. But I think we see if we still believe in our list.
I want episode 99 to be a clip show.
No, episode 100.
Usually the key episodes in sitcoms, like 100 or something, are special, and they reserve the clip shows for when they're,
Okay, that's
I love it.
100 gotta be an extravagance.
Yeah, 100 you gotta bring back the original.
For 100, we'll get Matamos back.
Oh man, look forward to that, everybody. Oh,
and on that note, now that we've laid out the next 50 episodes, this has been No Shots Fired Podcast, episode 50, half of the century, Trap, Prison, and Scream Truth. We talked about Mario Maker 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Grand Theft Auto Role-Playing, got you the Dungeons & Dragons update, got you that speedrunning, how each of us are going to be speedrunning. We could probably talk about speedrunning more in the future, honestly. We didn't really do a whole lot with that.
No, I talk about that for hours. I think we screamed a lot of truth, guys. That's what I think.
And having screamed our truth.
It's been a wonderful 50 episodes, and I'm looking forward to 50 more.
I look forward to the next 5,000.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.